Kennedy or Agyapong is winning, God willing.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Ken will win. Ken will win.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Ken will win. Sure. Me first one, now my family phone say, of course we don't run campaign on social media, but it's a model that you can also use to determine the mood of people and how people are appreciating issue. Until I've called people, about 10 people randomly, and asked them, say, is it because I support Ken and I push Ken matter so much? It appears that a logarithm is so programmed, say, Ken. Me TikTok, I have an account there, but minimum. Almost all Kohonswa, sir. Almost all Twitter, sir. Almost all baby, sir. And the mood of the nation is so ripe for Ken. Now, with nano abysmal performance here, show ye, many sure say there is going to be a reward for any second chance. There is not going to be a reward for second chance. Where party for them, I mean, let's face the reality. NDC has having conversations, say, President Mahama is coming from the northern part of the country. And to a free while, they say one more may also repeat a candidate coming from the northern part of the country. So by way of strategy, one more cry adjust you. So how much more? Yeah. What I say? And now politics have always insisted politics is a game of strategy. Nobody goes into a war with the weaker foot. And now I'm trying DB or social media and I'm post to you. Because people should be bold to vote on religious and
come on, that I read it yesterday.
I like controversial stuff.
Yes.
And not necessarily controversial, but you see, these are a normal. If you interview the majority of people in their own closet, and there will be a commercial, but it's not something that they can discuss. But I think there can be a polite and holistic way we can still address this and have a conversation about it. Ken has started his campaign. Why Western North? Why Bono? Why Bono East? Why Ahafo? Why Bono East? I am so much confident that these these four regions, Hawaiian, he will win. Maybe I may say be yentimi mama che na nkostro bebre kese pa the Bono East. This Bono East in so no. Ohwe fitik ntamponi ade nso kona Union also move through the northern part of the country bebre so ho. And ade ba kwa Dr. Bawumia team has been able to do so well so far as this campaign is concerned has been their northern solidarity in MPP, not in Ghana. When it comes to in Ghana, there is a popularity no from, but in MPP, I think say one more etima as solidarize on base. But we are also going there to also campaign. In the say before one kwana a foreign so no, we've watered out the impact. So I'm exceedingly confident. Now second, when we near Namasum Krogu Ghana ho, also for baby, any moon comes say baby. Baby, about 90% we don't even know them. Me apart from also for Bernarda, I know him personally. I visited his church. I have a relationship with him. Say me papa say madam for no. About 90% of all more can come in. In the accused of Okwan Phantom with him. Second, we know Okra Bambugu and Yamesum. So Biana K. As so far as I'm come 100. Now, the second Yakupon and Animal Guasio, but which Namiso and Timina the aim was it. Because
I also saw my infographics be flying. Say, Agyapong sets up anti-election Reagan squad.
Yes.
Is it true?
Yes.
I don't know about setting up anti.
My brief. First of all, the anti-Reagan election team or squad or initiative is not only to protect Agyapong's votes. One is to make sure say Dr. Brian Champong votes or be. Two is to make sure say votes are Dr. Bawumia and the votes were pepe. And open Jojo Rocking Mabaso. Again, is to make sure say me and Papa Dr. El said that you vote to Benyan will count the same vote for you.
No, Obiasma. Reagan election.
Agyapong also vote to Benyan. But more example, you got two last election, last prime minister who said Dr. Bawumia 100%, 99.3%, almost 100%.
Yes.
One more, you to about in November, the prime minister to nothing November 4th. You to about between November to the next prime minister to parliamentary prime minister was just December and them. You a very key analysis na me you. One more 2 years, Dr. Bawumia knew about contest be Lucy. The same constituency. Olusu ya no onzo court na case okoye. O se sa album na e de to ya Dr. Bawumia nya 100%. Sa album no enipa na e wu mu 4 a toss abana or motoya or lose parliamentary. Between December no, and Nipa 9 no, into December no 9 bomu sa. Then over the period even before November 9th. Yes, so they recorded 100%. Say one more everybody in the album went to vote. And everybody also voted for him. So our case is that we are making a very strong case for the sanity of elections in the MPP. We want to restore confidence in the MPP.
But the party has restored confidence already by saying, we are making.
But what is illegal about?
It's not illegal, but I say, oh yes, sir. Maybe sir, are you not creating? I mean, something beyond. Top as say, oh. And kind of obi area into me obi wiame into this time when indeed you know say the party in itself
the person can say you cry the Dr. Babia the person born home
was mama
you person mu the votes obeyano me I don't see him getting more than 31% in this election and we want to protect him say the votes obeyano yeah man don't say when you say to our Titi what's na man don't say we are Dr. Babia 31% if you votes ni bi o man ko kan na ko di Brian Tampo na we we na Dr. Babia obi wa ko bi pe Dr. Muano number 12%. So onu kra mpo na ya man we want to protect everybody, the sanctity of the process, so that everybody's vote will be counted for him. We said I'm not doing the same quite. If you had 7 votes, we'll count the 7 votes for you. If Dr. Luchum 100 votes, we count 100 votes a mano. If Dr. Brian Champonya 20, we count 20 votes a mano. The Agyapong 1,000 votes, we count 1,000 na mano. That's what we want to do. So we are only building a system that will ensure the sanctity and integrity of the electoral process. And that includes everything.
Okay,
that includes everything.
You and your campaign team, do you trust the party to do a good job during the elections?
Yeah, but no, I mean, even if you trust somebody, that's not necessarily mean that you also not take care of yourself. What I say? The fact that you trust some of our I don't know. You may trust your partner, but I don't just say you won't take care of yourself. You also have to take care of yourself. And I don't think it's so much of a rebellious mindset. No, it's not really a rebellious mindset, but it has more to do with deepening the integrity of the process. What the party is doing, we are also committing to it much. If the party wants to ensure a clean and fair process, why can't we also put mechanisms to ensure and help the party to achieve that?
Because more doubt, Anna.
No, what we want to do is to create a situation where we protect the votes to the extent that the sanctity and the integrity of the process will be upheld. And I'm very confident. Say it to me, yes, Agyapong will win more than 60%. I'm very confident. Say it to me, yes, Agyapong will win more than 60%. I mean, you shouldn't be rebel, but you should always think beyond good. That is not being doubtful. No, that's not being doubtful. That essentially means that you are prepared. And you are willing to say that you are letting people's vote count. When people start to let your vote count. Now let your vote count. We can't let people's vote count. People's vote will be counted.
Okay, so this is not the first time Mako election, presidential elections. You had issues with a previous one, right?
Oh, you mean Kennedy Agyapong's
Yes,
camp?
Kennedy Agyapong.
Yeah, we're not satisfied with the whole process.
Okay.
It's natural.
And one of the major ones was about the counting.
Oh, not necessarily. You see why I'm a bit evasive about this, because you see, I mean, it's a matter of strategy. You can't go into the details of it. Yeah, they name the Yehu, and they name the Ate, and they name the Suya.
Just a non-one
the Americans say they name the Yehu, they name the Ate. Yes, the American. We have learned, and we have also learned as part of a normal Yesuano. One of them is to also learn in a way a bit more protect the sanctity and the integrity of the electoral process that I have. It's not really about Ken, it's about what the grassroots want. The party for near the EP, their self for near the EP. And they would say, yeah, myself for no, their votes matters. Let their voices be heard. Because I say for who take Ghana for in Ghana for say the can bomb where the Omobeto. And what now one he maybe I say for no can maybe even I mean sometimes it may not even be almost said that, but sometimes it may be an arithmetic error, administrative error. You call Supreme Court much about comes clerical error. It be a Dr. Baumia 17 over here near the 1 question and 9,117. the votes of the people have not been counted. It does not reflect their intentions, and that is why we want to protect it.
It is a band that also say Bia Kenya 17, but to be near the end of 117.
Why not? Why not? That's what I'm saying. That we want to ensure that vote will be a benyano.
Okay.
Or nipakonya vote na. That's a way big deal. Ubuzam say Yabena said and mention. And the question first I said will be anywhere. Or then the strategy the details of it is but the assurance I'm giving to every Ken member. One more Muabuchi and no more mutie. Me uncle back my for Kenya Monabaso. For say a movement for youth movement for Ken or more Canada.
Okay.
Or Penny Amako Francis or more or Swatch up and for Kenya Monabaso. Yeah, more munina tifitabuchi for Besigana for say if we are going to vote for Kenya. And you should cry because your vote will be counted. Intimidation be anywhere by the Ebebaho. Obie who so bit my bed, Ebehu be a the Enjuma. Said now no, you got to a banner one rating back for 100%. You got to general election. No, but it should have reflected that the issue, the 100%, no, if indeed it was true and genuine, should have be populated. It should have been a sample that gave an indication of how well the people were willing to accept him. But it can't be say one more mokoya jumadi votes na ban 100% comes and vote for you. Then in the same polling stations you get 0. Nti adi we wona esa akwa na sesem we wona wo ye kere Agyapong ti mabetra ho. Say nipa ono so okoto aba onya 100% e woni kurom ne constituency ne region one or 100%. Some kofo no ko general election. Some of the policies is omokoto your record 100% onya 0.
Yeah, but the MPP for the two abano.
No, but MPP for the two abano.
National.
Yeah, MPP, yes, national. But the 5 saying the 5 polling stations for no mokoto man prime is onya 100% no. Say polling station be nipa 5. Say nipa 5 no. One more the MPP for keke. One more delegates. There's also about general election point the competitive and the straight MPP. Unim say MPP na okoyin and the hold onya 0. Now to one me dey asokwada na watenche na on. So the Juma. No, it won't work. We are 100% of police station, but the same police station, a general election down 0. One more to 100% no more here. Some people for no more to no more here. And the other common to 3%, but you have 0. So why should you trust say that 100% now in organic? And it can be coincidence say you go to general election, delegates a kotoma or 100% of police station biaro. This time about 30 police station 0. A do election no munina.
Good morning. I'm Wokan from Bantama in the Senate West District. The next Dr. Kwame Nkrumah is Honorable Kennedy Agyapong because he certainly cuts a distinctive figure with his spoken, bold and confident style. He fit for a leader to the good people of Senate West. He spoke as a businessman, not a politician. These are the key qualities that makes him a strong presidential candidate for the MPP. Let's get connected. We Okan from Bantama or the Ebaye. Now, maybe that's the same way. There's this argument that your candidate seems to more or less attack Dr. Bawumia one way or the other. I don't know whether that perception keeps running or a reality on ground, Tana.
No, I need the basis for such comments.
Okay.
Or say a day or kind attack on Dr. Bawumia. You see, let's face the fact. If you are going for less, certainly you mention your opponent's name. You are not contesting yourself. And then one way election now here, and there is a basis of comparison. Dr. Bawumia is a data person. He believes in data. And so when people questions the data on his own performance, I'm not sure that will be an attack. The campaign message can see a pie so say because MPP there will be a twaso or consistency, yes. Yeah. And that is he then made argument borrowing the history of the party and and the same history of the party, you know. If you are looking at the true history of the party in that broader context, from where the party was established from 92 till now, you realize that Obi Atwado to be has always been contingent on Nipano performance. How do we say it? How that has always been the contingent or the caveat or the. Indeed, if you go and say CM found to us now Now go far Akufo-Addo. No I'm fair Dubois. I will remind you that this is the true history. One more homo there.
But he's not the only candidate. There are a lot of candidates. Why would your
candidate be na?
Oh, say you Dr. Brian Woho, Dr.
No, but if I question you, so be uncle election. Dr. Dutu so be uncle election man compare for me poorly. It's only Dr. Baramiano uncle election compare for me poorly. In that basis, I don't think they're so wrong. If I borrow the performance to make a case. Aside that, me just was second about the day now I can be busy. And I think one also was in response to him say, Honorable Chairman Sabons, I'm told so can say Ken and Timin Cabral for now would no committee near IMF near there where I could do and Ken responded by we are money. But you say I don't even think say person be the president of Ghana how as I dream about Timmy IMF. Yes, we are not ready to come and perform. Because IMF I say hospital. Nobody goes to IMF or nobody goes to hospital, you are in a good condition. You go to hospital when you are not in a good condition. But if you are eating healthy, you are exercising, you are dieting so well, you are having rest, why do you even think of hospital in the first place? What I say?
Check-up.
Check-up is different from say, in IMF, check-up in this context will be going into the international market to go and seek investors.
Okay.
But now Okoji loan there. And no now Okoji. It's the same thing. And Kenny says it will be it's even shallow thinking to even think of that even in the first place. Say but President Magana say Okoji loan. We need the president that will create jobs for us. And I've always maintained that if you look at the first industrial evolution, second industrial evolution, third and fourth industrial evolution, we always at the consumption end as a country. And we need to go back to the basics and leapfrog. And that's why Ken talks about the agriculture and tourism as his main focus or the best on minor. And of course, he also talks about decentralization. Oshe is a greater cry. Greater cry is almost choke. Not even about the chokiness, but we also have to stimulate growth in the other parts of the country. So, 24-hour economy, it's not artificial. It's not artificially generated. It's based on demand and supply. My more example, say from from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Kumasi boss pa, the day of pa. A do Sunday numre na Kumasi go. Go be free. Yeah, quite be a bank. Be free or be or so literally it becomes a ghost city or ghost town. And that activity we none where ye can say what the correct will be or be a what I say. So in order to make Kumasi more active, why can't we take about 2 or 3 ministries to Kumasi? Agencies in alcohol. Then if anybody who wants to transact then goes to Kumasi to go and transact. Why can't we take Ministry of Education to Central Region? Say what kind of schools in Ashasi. Anybody who wants to go and transact with the ministry and all these agencies, so that you have people moving across all the regions. Or qua are there some behind hotel at them? Or better you are not Eddie. One so much so call people a creature.
But I don't mind your cost too.
What say?
Oh my your cost.
No, but no more free time labor a crowd more your cost. Oh, so your cost. Obi Fisunya background, they be on your cost. Now, so Fisunya kwa Santa Region, so no Ebeboano. Joso ministry be so Santa Region, not also for her say it's fair. And everything must not necessarily be Accra. Okay. So that is Ken's vision, the practical approach. And you'll be a more ideas. And at the end of the day, I've always maintained say you need to be we are saying on the or what some supreme and mystical ideas no. Our problems are always the same. Our problems are systemic. Our solutions is not about ideas. Our solution has to do with pragmatic implementation. So Galamsey, the ideas in the solve Galamsey. It's is an implementation issue, and the implementation issue stems from the inability to enforce the regulations in your compliance. That's all. In the ideas documents. I don't even read them because I don't believe in them. At the end of the year, said the regulations are there. If there is an enforcement of the regulations, so it's an enforcement issue, okay. And you need that leadership with that character trait to enforce, and not to be ideas.
May buy a issue now raising, but there's a text message here for you. I just want to read it as it is. How hard or how strong or how low it is. I just want to read it to you clearly. Or say, I am Kelvin Kofi Guy from Agyapong, Volta. Please ask the man at the studio to check his conscience and tell us if he truly believes that Ken is the best candidate to lead the MPP to win 2028 elections. I, Kofi Guy, believed that he is only following Ken for the cash because he himself knows very well that DMB is the only obvious choice. This is his message to you.
I mean, on the hindsight, I don't think I should even respond to him. For he's not even a delegate. Until let's move on.
Okay. You wrote an article. I just want to deal with that. For me, I think it's a very serious one that you've raised, that we should be bold to vote on tribal and religious lines if we have to.
Yes.
But see, as someone okay, is it not a dangerous precedent you are setting within and probably the larger elections ahead of us, 2028?
So it didn't come from a vacuum. It came from a certain context.
Okay.
And the context was, like I indicated, how the DMB camp, they've done something so well when it comes to their political organization, which has to do with how our Motima mobilize it, the northern and even in extension, the Muslim caucus, Amano.
Okay.
And it's not just an argument of vacuum. It's on a basis, and there's evidence to that. Just about a month ago, the Northern Caucus of Parliament, they call themselves Northern Caucus. These are all MPs, or more Parliament. Okay. All of them are Northerners. One more had to come under the name or caption Northern Caucus of Parliament, or more call the Northern Part. All 57 constituencies in the North, or more call to campaign for DMB. Normal someone can say Montomano because or one of us. They never say Montomano on any issue base. They say Montomano because he's one of us. And I mean, you may think say be a mobilizing or mobilizing, but it cannot be a coincidence that all 100% of Northern MPs follows a Northern candidate. It cannot be a coincidence. Well, it presupposes and affirms the point. They say there's nothing wrong with that. Say identity politics. Or no. So me padia me ko mi fie do me forecast do me hana mi fie omonye dey montomame. But I mean, so far as that consistently goes on, then it entrenches the whole philosophy of identity politics in Ghana and everywhere in the world.
Okay.
Identity politics is so. Identity politics is not tribalism. Christians may say, oh, me kura de domamo ye Assemblies of God in me koto ye dey emano. Don't we see that? Ye nto aba wo krom ha since 92. Asante region predominantly accounts who identifies with the MPP has always been voting for the MPP. Do you think it's a coincidence? Say, I didn't vote a region to my MPP, that but it's always NDC. And I can't say be NDC, be an no. What I say. So it supports my case about sir identity politics once a my make. And do know that interestingly, sir MPCR is MPs by 11 your Mukoye campaign ma Dr. Baumia on the northern score. No. You me catch or say a whose name I shall leave and mention because I don't have the permission to put their names out.
Okay.
One more every day is in Ken's house. I am lobby for vice presidential candidate. They are very so much awake and win.
Wow.
Uno no kasa almost so openi nyese bia ho ye gidi se DM bit me win you. But ye ndi e kira ye nuanom be catch say akọ support Kabonya. Kabonya no akoye say I mean people construe it as disparaging, but it's just a sasantefo and account for ye nuanom nordness omo yentafo. Just like how they also represent as Kabonya say adana okoto abama obi a oye de onye ye nipa na so nkan ye. What I say? So I mean it's there. I've seen a lot of campaigner who videos be about Mia has met his Muslim community and was advocating say there's nothing wrong with that. It was good for us then as a party, and there is nothing wrong with that. If you say me cast me require them come bush for catch them before say before. Okay, Professor Mills. Or say I deal with fear day. Identity politics is so normal.
Okay.
And the point I am making is say if people have capitalized on identity politics and benefited from it, why is it that when it comes to we look into your face and then create a perception? So MPP they account for party I don't know. NDC for also no presidential candidate free Asante region. How did they treat him? Because the point is that every region, every tribe and those things, your voter behavior is deeply rooted in our politics and I reflect it. Other than the panic catcher say MPP for yes, pack and fast pay other tribes as well. One can't almost pass anti region for us, almost make presidential candidate for near Hundiumbe. One hour go to Panetia, or then 9 the week after Tenebo. Uber right, Mbappe Uber right, now the left and Panetina, Abobono, as I would left to Koshe. It will be difficult. So as a matter of strategy, You don't live to diffuse or clear a certain perception, agenda be obi a certain amount. That's not how we do politics. You have seen, say, consistently, this is where voter pattern and your strategic winning approach has always been. Asante Ridge in the trial, but you then say you are changing the model because say NDC has set a trap for you, say yes, be a umpe, not necessarily asem. I mean, on what basis? At the end of the day, you were so much interested in diffusing that argument. We diffused that argument, they could see say the results was what we saw. What I say. So we need to get to a stage where we have to separate discussion of voter behavior from tribal or religious politics. Somebody can discuss voter behavior. Minya, you won't call for make us on tribal macrimony. You won't call for make us on tribal macristoni. Sending your cremony, you won't call for make us also kunifia warrior. Oh, yeah, Santino, my own warrior, Benny. You're going to make us all my own warrior Santini. That is not only preference. A voter behavior. One name is a kayaho. And then go to a potwa. Nekoshe, what they are quite Juma BM, the CEO, no, over 90% of Unkofa form in tribe members. So why are we deceiving ourselves? A Juma be our Ghana BM, Mimi represent you do a state housing corporation, and then we do a review on way in the Diamante Modi on just on flimsy and baseless excuse. One man could say, where you medina, no Munya names. No matter where say from, say, or me mention next, yes, Saki will be. What are you talking about? So we don't know that this thing is happening. We may elect not to talk about it, or we may elect that even though they exist, in terms of the politics that we are doing, we will not use it as a tool to divide ourselves, but to dismiss it and create an impression, say voter behavior is not influenced by religion, is not influenced by tribalism. And our videos, oh dear, and quite VIP station here. Now, a counted buses 100. 1 more 2 years in Empire on Babo. Nyangopo Nisti and Infree driver no cra cano. No Ameta Kanech, people of religion. Tiasem you. Mamisha, young girl, be out there. I'm going to be a person better on one day. About Massa person will be for big can alcohol. And ye because one say baby, I'm Johnny baby of Jana day and on religious differences. Why do you think, say, in terms of everything, religion and tribalism affect us, but when it comes to voting, they affect us? What even the MPP, our main basis of also selecting a northern candidate was to consolidate the vote from the north and the Zongo votes and the Muslim votes.
Maybe has it not been say not the negative effect, as so saying. What
is the negative effect?
Based on tribal sana. Ebema yenya nipa sebi yesefata says obedi on my name. And now says Sefata says Emmanuel MP.
Yeah, you see, we will get to a stage.
Is it not the
balance? We will get to a stage. The balance is that we will get to a stage where our politics will be purely issue based. But I don't know of any country in the world our own politics here purely issues based. Trump, look at how Trump was promoting white supremacy. It's a man saying, it was oil dentia. Because the Democrats have the immigrants, and Trump who say he has to stir the American people up. JD Vance, America, Trump vice na catcher, Miami, Kamala Harris say, "Oni benti no wonte a memoir say ontimi." He doesn't feel how people feel. This is America of all people. We know the better ampo. As a man, I got him. Say voter behavior is no influence. Na yeah, 20 brabo is one the rest of the contraba. And then you subani agreeing with him and the rest of the contraba. So when you weaponize it, I am against it. When you play it safely, you can benefit from it. But then don't gag anybody say, "When you play on it there, then nipa na ye tribalism or a politics." Okay. If I can go, if 9 MPs or 11 MPs can go to the north and tell the people of the north, say, "Montuma because I am one, Montuma nipa semesi because he is one of us there," then I don't think there's anything wrong if Obiso Kujina Asante guys say MPP I can for and the door so I can for now trauma into Montuma Kani, Nemfa Kani, Kwanona party for the ebeto. I don't think anything is wrong with that. Until we get to a stage where our politics become issue based, we know say it's purely issue based, As at now, it means say identity politics. I don't think we should fault people when they vote on those lines because nobody has no monopoly of approbation and improbation. Okay. Or no, or enjoy what we are, or no the quiet politics so no come here. Okay, we are not just say or be a free hand in our way there. But I mean, for the past 16 years, the past 32 years, you are. Nobody has reminded you so free hand now free hand. It's a democracy, but people has given you the opportunity, okay. And you've had the opportunity to also give us back what you also have.
Yeah, that's it. Oracle, see.